In this video, I will explain you exactly what is the mindset behind the skills. For instance, I will take an example of a cooker. Imagine you want an AI agent that is capable of making any dish, of cooking anything in a kitchen. In order to do this, you give him some tools, some recipe and everything. But how you will manage this context? Because the information about how to use the tool is really, really big. We have maybe 100 different things inside the kitchen. And if you want him to be able to cook anything, he will need to know any recipe. So he can have 1,000, 10,000, 1 million recipe. How you will make this inside this AI agent? Because if you want to cook pasta, you need the recipe of bolognese sauce, the usage of this, of a knife. If you want to cook a chicken, you need to know how to cook meat, the recipe, the usage of oven, thermometer, everything. So without skill, you can think, I can use the memory and have really, really, really fast the limit of 200,000 token window. So it's not a solution. Memory is not a solution. You cannot inject enough data in the model to understand everything. And here you will tell me, yes, but Melvin, the data, the model is already trained of recipe. It's just an example, okay? We want to teach model something it doesn't know. Or you can use the comments before the skill, but one comment, if you put all the recipe and all the tools inside these comments, you will finish with a file with 10,000, 100,000, 500,000 lines, and the context will be overflow and the AI agent can do nothing. Now, how is it with the skill? The skill, I like to say that it's like a cooking book, okay? So we have a cooking book, and inside this cooking book, you don't need to read every pages to cook something. You have a table of content that say at the page 56, we have the pasta bolognese. At the line 89, we have the chicken breast recipe. And you open the cooking book. You just go on the right page, open the page, view the thing, and just use it, you know? So the skill is exactly a cooking book. The file skill.imd is a reference file that will be the table of content, and maybe like it's a mix between the table of content and the about. You know, it will explain what is inside this book, when you use it, what to do with it, everything. So the skill is an entry point. When you open your cooking book, the table of content and the information about how to use the book is an entry point. Then you will have a folder, refs for references, that will show all the recipe. So when our model need to use something, he will read a table of contents. When he want to make pasta bolognese, he will say, okay, I need to go in page 56. He go on page 56 and he just read this file. This file maybe is 100 token. So he doesn't have thousands of tokens because he doesn't know to know. He doesn't need to know chicken, pizza, carpaccio. All of this is useless. We only want the pasta bolognese recipe. So this pasta bolognese recipe will be injected inside this context. That's it. So it's optimized. Same, you can have many skills. So the second skill can be tool. And here we have the pan, the oven, the thermometer, and everything that will be a skill. That will be a reference file. So with this is the skill. This is the skill concept where we can separate data that we maybe need, maybe not, and everything inside a specific page. And the skill is just a table of contents. If we, for instance, take a real example of the famous Vercel React best practice, and this is a nice example. You have the skill.md that will explain everything about the rules, and you can see that here he make the list of the rules. But here it's right, if you need to read the full rule expanded, you can write agent. And inside the agent, it's like way more information. So this is maybe why it's so big. Okay, sorry, exactly. So how to use? Read individual rule file for detailed explanation and code example. For example, rules slash async parallel or rules slash bundle barrel imports. And so here you have all the rules, and it doesn't need to read all the rules to help you. He can just pick the only useful rules he need. So this is exactly what I say. So this is a skill. But funnier is that this find skill is also a skill. So a skill can have references, but it can also just be a comment. It just also just be a prompt. So for example, this find skill is exactly this. Or my little skill to commit, just here git commit, is just one file. Simple, just a skill. You can also create really complex skill, for example, Apex, my workflow, or here you have like a prompt discovery where he will read this file, then when he finish, he will read analyze, plan, execute, validate, examine, and everything, and he will read everything. Inside this skill, he have the script, he have the template, so he have a lot of things to create and to code my feature. So the skill can go from easy skill to really complex one, or to really references complex one, as you can see just here. Skill is all of this, and you can use it basically to do anything. For me, for instance, also, maybe I use too much this word for instance, I'm really sorry. I also have like this skill, for example, type fully, where I create a skill that is that help the IA to basically know how to use the Typefully API. And then I have a script just here that read my M file. So you have the API key, and then he's able to run the command like social set, draft, tag, delete draft, create tag, and it's just a bash script that help IA to interact with my Typefully code. And with this skill, when I ask an agent to draft a tweet, because you know maybe that the Melvin Typefully skill is a skill that help him to draft a tweet, he can basically run it, have the thing, and he just create the draft. Yes, it's look insane. It's not an MCP, it's just a skill. Now I have my draft. I like skills. Easy. So you can create skill for a lot of things. Actually, if I need to be honest with you, the only thing that will block you with this skill is your imagination. So just think, just try think, and you will just discover how powerful this tool can be, because it's just a way to prompt a powerful AI agent to do anything you want.